I was a little baby sales manager for Toshiba America in the copier division. And one day my boss came to me and he asked me if I wanted to go out to California to do some training. I mean, I was shook. Yeah, I started out life in a housing project. The biggest trip I took back then was going from my building across the compound to one of the other buildings. So somebody telling me that they're going to put me on a plane, fly me out to California on their dime, put me up in a hotel, you could knock me over with a feather. On top of that, my favorite uncle, my Uncle Corrado, had moved to California years before. So I thought, hey, here's the idea. I will tack on some PTO days and I'll visit Uncle Corrado while I'm out in California. So this is back in the day of landlines, pre-cell phone, and my dad and Uncle Corrado used to talk once a week on Sunday because the rates were cheaper. Inevitably, being two Italian guys, the conversation would always come around to food. And Uncle Corrado would complain bitterly about the lack of good Italian delicacies available to him in Southern California. He could not get good pepperoni, supersada, ricotta salata, parmigiano reggiano, the good meats and cheeses that he loved, that he had in Brooklyn, he could not get in California. So I thought, here's what I'll do. I'll go to his favorite salumeria. I will buy a bunch of these meats and cheeses that he loves, and I'll bring him out and surprise him when I come to visit. So that's what I did. I went to his favorite salumeria. I bought a whole bunch of these meats and cheeses. And when I brought them home and I started packing, I was putting in my suitcase, and my wife said, no. This is far too important a bit of cargo to be sticking in your suitcase. You don't want to wind up in baggage limbo. Take it with you on the plane. So I did. I threw it in my carry-on bag, my gym bag, and flew out to California. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. Despite them only giving me a couple of bags of stale pretzels, I managed to get to California without nibbling one stick of pepperoni or breaking off one piece of cheese during the ride. So anyway, I get to California, and as I said, I don't know travel, I don't know the world at all. And I get there, I give the cab driver the address of the hotel. He takes me out, it's a Ritz-Carlton. I mean, I walked up the stairs and saw the lobby. And I was like, do you ever see one of those movies where somebody finds Nirvana, or they get to heaven? It was like that moment. I get to the top of the stairs, I was like, ah! I couldn't believe it. I was looking at an open air lobby. I'm talking like a ceiling and a floor and no walls, looking out over the Pacific Ocean. There was this, the fancy marble railing around the whole thing with tables for two for the little cafe. I made a vow to myself right then and there that I was going to get up ridiculously early so I get my workout done, and then I was going to sit at that table for two. I was going to order myself a pot of French press coffee, eggs Benedict, and a mimosa, and I was going to live like lifestyles of the rich and famous. So I did. Next morning, I get up like stupid o'clock. I run down the stairs. I figure the gym will be empty because it's so early in the morning. I get there, and there is one guy. Of course, he's on the treadmill, which is what I was there to do. I'm like, no problem. I'll go across to the other side. Small gym. As I get there, it hits me. The guy stinks. I'm not talking like a little sweaty locker room kind of smell. I'm talking knock a buzzard off a roadkill kind of stink. I mean, this guy reeked. So I get to the other side of the gym, figure I'll do some flies, whatever I could do to just stay out of his way. But it was as if he cast a pall over the entire place, like a cloud. The whole place stunk. Thankfully, he hit the button, took off like a minute after I got there. I got to get on the treadmill. The stink was terrible, but you can get used to anything. I get my workout in 45 minutes. I leave. I go to the elevators, hit the button. Elevator doors open. I step in. Elevator doors close. Guess what? The elevator stunk. I swear to God, the elevator stunk. I'm like, how is that possible? This guy left like 45 minutes ago. How could the elevator still smell? And then I realized, it's not possible. Oh my God, I packed Uncle Corrado's meats and cheeses in my gym bag with my gym clothes. The smell wasn't coming from him, it was coming from me. Right now, this guy's probably at a party somewhere telling people about some time some stinky kid from New York knocked him off his workout a minute into it. But I tell you this story because oftentimes we go through life thinking our stuff don't stink. Next time you think that, you think your marketplace stinks, your company stinks, your boss stinks, your customers stink. Check yourself first.